Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go!
I've been helping out with my godson since he was born about a month ago. His mom is like a sister to me. We've been best friends for almost 20 years. She had to work the entire weekend and asked if I could watch the baby. Of course, I said yes. The little guy means everything to me. My best friend was visiting that weekend and offered to come along when I needed to take the baby back home. On our way there, his mom texted asking if we could swing by Target to pick up some stuff for both her and the baby. Made sense since we'd passed Target anyway, and I needed some things too. Plus, my cousin works there and I wanted her to finally meet my godson from a distance. My friend sent me money through an app for the stuff and off we went. It was pretty chilly outside with cloudy skies threatening rain. We got to Target and I had my godson in his little carrier. Unfortunately, my friend had bought one of those carriers that's too big for the front part of shopping carts, so I had to put it directly inside the cart. Since the baby is only 1 month old, he's too young for a mask, so I covered the whole carrier with a thick blanket to keep germs away. I asked my friend to grab another cart for our shopping, and we were all set. Just to paint a picture of what we looked like, Target employees wear basic red shirts with khaki pants. My friend had on a navy blue top with black pants and flats. I was wearing a burgundy top with flowy sleeves that tied in the front, black jeans, and sneakers. Nothing even close to Target uniform colors. We were making our way through the store, checking items off both our lists. I stopped in a side area so I wouldn't block foot traffic while I looked over what we still needed and fed the baby through the blanket since he was getting fussy. That's when I realized I forgot something for him back a few aisles. I asked my friend to put on a glove, hold his bottle, and finish feeding him while I went back for the item. Yeah, she's my best friend, but he's my godson. And with everything still going on health-wise, I don't mess around with germs. So I'm in this aisle looking hard for what I need. My glasses have this annoying habit of sliding down and falling off, so I was really focused on finding this item quickly. That's when I heard it. That sound that makes every retail worker and customer want to bang their head against the wall. The classic throat clearing sound. I turned and there she was. Short pixie haircut, sunglasses sitting on top of her head, even though we were indoors and it was cloudy outside, tight tank top, short shorts despite the chilly weather, and flip-flops. I moved out of her way thinking maybe I was blocking something she needed and kept looking for my item. She let out this dramatic sigh and I could literally feel her staring at me, but I wasn't giving up on finding what I came for. Then she started complaining loudly about how hard it is to find good help these days and how everyone wants to be lazy. I rolled my eyes, put my head down and muttered to myself about really not needing this today. I found my item and started to leave the aisle. That's when she got mad. Did I care? Absolutely not. And I think she could sense that because she really started going. She demanded to know why I wasn't going to help her. I told her flat out that I wouldn't. She acted all shocked and fake gasped, asking why not. I tried to explain it nicely since I could see what kind of person she was. I told her clearly that I don't work there, that nothing about me gives any indication that I work there, that I'm not on break or having a day off, and that I simply don't work there at all. I said I was going to leave and put my item in my shopping cart so I could pay and leave the store. She actually stepped in front of me when I was backing away and told me not to dare walk away from her. She said she knew I was lying and that she'd seen me working there before. She said I couldn't fool her and that I just didn't want to work. She threatened that I'd be fired when she was done with me and said she was getting the manager. I looked her up and down and told her to go ahead and do exactly that. I walked back to where my friend was with the carts. She asked what took so long and I told her everything from start to finish. She just chuckled and shook her head. I saw she was trying to burp the baby, so I offered to take over. Ever since this little guy came into the world, he's been stubborn about everything, including burping. I put the cloth on my shoulder, took him, and started the process. 2 minutes later, he finally burped, and when I laid him back down, he was fast asleep. Perfect. Now we could finish shopping and leave. But then I heard screaming and screeching echoing through the store. My eyes went wide and I slowly turned to see her walking down the main walkway with a manager in tow. My friend looked over and asked if that was her. I confirmed it was the witch. Just so everyone knows, my friend and I call each other witch all the time. We've been friends for almost 20 years and it's just our thing. Please don't take offense. So this woman reaches us, still screaming at the top of her lungs. She told the manager that I should be fired for not helping a customer and lying about not working there. She went on about being a loyal customer and having rights. I asked the manager to please tell her to keep it down since I had just put my son to sleep. I explained that I had already told this woman multiple times that I don't work there and asked what part of my outfit suggested I worked there. I pointed out that even if I did work there and was on my day off, customers aren't entitled to get help from employees who aren't working. But I said again that I don't work there. The manager told her that I really don't work there and said all of this could have been avoided. He offered to help her find what she needed instead. She demanded that he fire me and said he was covering for me. She claimed she'd seen me plenty of times working there and threatened to call corporate if something didn't happen right away. All that hollering woke up my godson and he started crying. I picked him up trying to calm him down, but now I was getting really angry. Nobody messes with my sleep schedule when it comes to this baby. I told her I had asked her to keep the noise down because I just put my son to sleep and now she had a crying baby on my hands. I told her to shut up and move along somewhere else. I asked how hard it was for her to understand that I don't work there and whether she was so embarrassed about being wrong that she had to keep up this act just to try to be right. I demanded she get away from us so I could calm my son down. That completely set her off. She wasn't paying any attention to the fact that I was still holding my godson when she lunged at me with her arm raised. When her hand came down, I moved my face just fast enough that she missed hitting me directly. But my glasses slipped off and hit the floor, shattering completely. Now I was beyond angry. Those were my only pair of glasses, and I had just tried to make an eye doctor appointment the week before. They were booked solid for this month and next month, and didn't even have their appointment books ready yet. I was furious to the highest level possible. Then something amazing happened. My cousin appeared. My cousin came around the corner being her usual nosy self. We can't help it. It runs in the family. When she realized it was me, she wanted to know what was going on. The manager asked what this had to do with her, and she explained she was my older cousin. Both he and the entitled woman looked at us and could clearly see we looked so much alike it was obvious why there might be confusion. We're daughters of two sisters. My mom is the third oldest daughter, and her mom is the baby of the family. The manager told my cousin to help calm me down because he could see I was about ready to fight while he announced he was calling the police. He didn't ask if I wanted police called, he just said he was going to call them. That sent the entitled woman completely over the edge. She started kicking and screaming while he pulled her toward his office. My cousin helped calm me down while I gently bounced to get my godson back to sleep. When the police arrived, I gave my statement, my friend gave hers, and my cousin gave hers too. Even though she hadn't seen everything happen, she heard it all, and she's family, so her account mattered. The manager ended up paying for all the baby supplies we had gotten. The police said they'd get back in touch with me about pressing charges after they put her in handcuffs and loaded her into the back of their car. She was still screaming about how she was right, and I really worked there even when they drove away. My cousin just looked at me and shook her head, saying that only I would attract this kind of crazy while baby shopping. I told her I swear I was just trying to get baby formula and diapers. The whole thing was absolutely ridiculous, but at least my godson slept through most of the drama after I got him calmed down. And hey, free baby supplies thanks to that woman's meltdown. I've been working at a small cafe in town for about 2 years when everything went sideways. The place wasn't huge, maybe 15 tables total, but we had regulars who came in every day. I knew their orders by heart and they knew my name. It felt like family most days. Then the pandemic hit and everything changed overnight. Business dropped to almost nothing. My manager pulled me aside one Tuesday morning and told me They had to let me go. She looked like she was about to cry when she said it. I understood though. The cafe was barely staying afloat. That was 6 months ago. I've been picking up shifts at another place across town, but it wasn't the same. The customers were different, more rushed, less friendly. My friends from the old cafe had scattered too. Two of them landed jobs at this popular spot downtown. One was working as a barista, the other had somehow worked his way up to manager already. The day this whole mess started, I was having one of those shifts where nothing went right. I spilled coffee on myself twice, mixed up 3 orders, and somehow managed to break a plate during the lunch rush. My manager could see I was beating myself up about it. She told me to clock out early and go home. She said everyone has bad days and I should come back tomorrow with a smile. I was annoyed that she didn't trust me to pull it together, but honestly, she was probably right. I was a mess. So there I was, walking down the street in the early afternoon, feeling sorry for myself. I decided to stop by the popular cafe where my friends worked. Maybe seeing some familiar faces would help. The place was way busier than my old cafe ever was, but it was between the lunch and dinner rushes, so it was quiet when I walked in. I saw my friend behind the counter right away. She spotted me and grinned. She made a joke about how rats in the store are a safety violation. She always called me that. Long story involving a Halloween costume and way too much coffee. I flipped her off and she laughed. I asked if her manager was around because I needed some tea to fix this disaster of a day. He said sure and asked what I wanted. I told him green tea with mint if they had it. He headed to the back to get the water boiling while my barista friend and I sat down at one of the tables. She was telling me about this customer who'd ordered 6 different modifications to a simple latte when I noticed the sugar dispenser at the self-service station was nearly empty. Without thinking, I got up, grabbed the refill container from the cabinet underneath, and topped it off. It was automatic. I'd done it 1,000 times at my old place. I went back to my seat and pulled out my phone to kill time while waiting for my tea. That's when she walked in. The woman looked like she was in her 40s, dressed in workout clothes, with that expression that screamed she was ready to complain about something. My friend got up to take her order. My friend asked what she could get for her today. The woman completely ignored her and pointed straight at me. She said how unprofessional it was for my co-worker to be taking out his phone in the middle of his shift. She said people like me don't deserve to work. My friend looked around confused. She told the woman she was the only one working the counter right now and asked what she could get her. The woman asked if she was making fun of her. She said she could clearly see my co-worker not working. I looked up from my phone and told her I didn't work there. Wrong thing to say. She walked over to my table, eyes blazing. She told me to shut up and called me a filthy liar. She said she saw me restock the sugar and that I shouldn't lie to customers like that. I was tired, stressed, and completely out of patience. When I'm off the clock and someone wants to start something, I don't back down. I told her to look at the logo on my friend's shirt and tell me if it matched the logo on my shirt. She looked between us, then her face got even redder. She told me not to talk to her like that and called me a delinquent. She demanded that I get behind the counter and help make her order. I put my phone away and stood up. I told her I didn't work there and wasn't allowed behind the counter. My friend confirmed that I really didn't work there. The woman spun around and jabbed her finger toward my friend's face. She told my friend not to cover up for me and called her a little witch. She said she saw us talking and that my friend was just trying to bail me out. That crossed the line. I stepped closer and told her she needed to apologize to my friend. My friend gets anxious during confrontations like this, and I wasn't about to let some stranger make her uncomfortable at work. The woman asked if I was threatening her. She said it was unacceptable and that she'd have my job. Just then, the manager came out from the back with my tea. He called out that there was an order for pickup. Before I could move, Karen grabbed the cup and took a big sip. Her face twisted up and she spat the entire mouthful all over me. She screamed, asking what this was, and said it wasn't her order. She pointed at my friend and said she was incompetent. She demanded to speak to a manager about my friend and me, calling me a jerk. She threw the cup in the trash, still screaming. I was standing there dripping with tea, completely stunned. The manager said he was the manager and asked what the problem was. The woman got this smug look on her face. She said the rude employee had refused to take her order, and when she asked politely, I cussed her out and hit her. She claimed my friend had defended me while also calling her a witch. She rolled up her sleeve, showing a bruise on her upper arm. It was clearly old, probably from days ago, but she was presenting it like evidence. My manager friend looked at me with fake concern. He said he couldn't believe I would do this and that he needed me to come with him. He said we needed to discuss my status as an employee. He told my friend not to leave either and to make the woman's order then come back. He turned to the woman and apologized about the situation. He asked if she could wait after her order was ready so he could compensate her for this awful experience. The woman said of course and that she was happy. Management was at least competent. He led me to the back office and shut the door. Then his whole expression changed. He asked what actually happened. I realized he'd been acting the whole time trying to calm her down. I explained everything and he got furious. This woman had not only harassed a customer, but also his employee, who happened to be his girlfriend. He started toward the door, but I stopped him. I told him to call the cops. He asked what I meant. I told him to trust me and call them. I said to tell them we have a customer making false accusations and that we have security footage. I said to let me handle the rest. I walked back out to find the woman still berating my friend, who was visibly shaking. I whispered to my friend to go to the back office, then positioned myself behind the counter. The woman kept making snide comments, trying to get me to react, but I just waited. When the police arrived, the woman's eyes lit up like it was Christmas morning. She thought she was about to watch me get arrested. The manager led the officers to the back office first. After a few minutes, they came out and asked for our sides of the story. The woman went first, painting herself as an innocent victim who'd been verbally abused and physically assaulted by an out-of-control employee. She even claimed I touched her inappropriately. Then, and it was our turn. We told them exactly what happened. The first officer looked thoughtful for a moment, then told the woman he was placing her under arrest. The woman asked what he meant. She pointed at me and said I was the one who attacked her. She told them to look at her bruise. The second officer sighed and asked if she realized there were security cameras in the building. The woman's face went completely white. The cameras had caught everything. Her yelling at us, the fact that I never touched her, her taking my drink, and her spitting it all over me. When she protested that spitting the drink on me wasn't assault, I explained that intentionally spitting liquid on someone is definitely assault. When she claimed she thought it was her drink, the manager pointed out that she'd never actually finished placing an order. The officers arrested her on charges of harassment, assault, theft, and disturbing the peace. When they led her away, she was still screaming that we'd all pay for this. I decided to press charges this time. Too many people had told me I should have in similar situations before. Later that evening, I texted my old manager to tell her what happened. She asked for a description of the woman and said she'd make sure the woman was banned from our cafe too. She also reminded me to stay professional in situations like that, since it could reflect badly on the business. But she agreed I'd done the right thing. My old manager asked if I at least got my tea. I said yeah, eventually. She asked how it was. I told her it was perfect. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.